Today I'm going to show you how to sharpen your images inside of Photoshop. Photoshop gives us the most control over sharpening, and we have a lot of choices of how we can sharpen our images. Photoshop sharpening coming up. Terry Vanderheiden here. A couple of weeks ago, I released a video on sharpening in Lightroom versus Photoshop. And I had a comment from a viewer in South Africa. His name is Colin. He wrote, "Will you please show the sharpening in Photoshop without Topaz? With the exchange rate, Topaz is extremely expensive." In that video in Photoshop, I was using a program called Topaz AI Sharpening. I've had it for a long time. It works great, but it's a program that you have to pay extra for. In fact, I was just on their website, and now Topaz AI Sharpen isn't even sold as a standalone program. It's yet another monthly subscription. So today I'm going to show you some options inside of Photoshop where you can do sharpening on images without buying an additional program. If you're a member of my mailing list, you already have a link to the exact images I'll be working on in today's tutorial. I try to send them out a few days before my video goes live. To get the practice images for my next tutorial, sign up for my free mailing list. Just go to imagelight.com, click on the subscribe button, and fill out the form, and you're good to go. Let's jump into this sharpening comparison and see what method might be the best for your photography. All right, so we have an image here in Photoshop. This is the most current release of Photoshop. If you could check here, you can see it's 27.8.0. This was just downloaded just the other day, so I know that this is a brand new version of Photoshop. And that's important because there are a couple features in here you want to make sure you're updated to your most current version of Photoshop. So the first thing we're going to do here with this image is we're going to actually make some duplicate layers here so we can work on this. So let's go ahead and do that. We use Command or Control J and we start making some duplicate layers. And now what I'm going to do is rename these. All right, so all these layers have been renamed. We're just going to turn those off for now. And we're going to go to this first one here. And the first thing you want to do is zoom up to 100%. I like to work in 100%. 100 to 200% when you're checking your sharpness. That's pretty important. Now this is a pretty sharp image to begin with. Now if you don't have sharp images from the get-go, that's something you really need to address. Getting sharp images out of the camera is super important. And if you're struggling with that, check out my ebook, Razor Sharp Nature Photography. It's sold exclusively on my website, imagelight.com. It's an ebook, so you can put it on your iPad or your phone and take it with you to just keep in mind some of the tips to make sure that you have sharp images out of the camera. Super important. But when you're done with your images and you want to sharpen them inside of Photoshop, this is what we're going to do. So Topaz AI is the first version we're going to do. And again, this is a purchased version, which they don't even sell as a standalone anymore, it appears. So, but I'll show you how this works because this is what I generally use. I've owned this program for a while, so this is what I like to work with. In Topaz Sharpen AI, you have all these versions that you can work with, right? Different, too soft, out of focus, depending on what you want to have, a module, if you will. And you also have a slider here for how much quantity of sharpening you want, if you're going to go really extreme or if you're just going to go slightly. But for today's version, let's put this on about 56. And we're going to use motion blur, very blurry, which is the third one down, just because we're going to show it as a comparison. So let's go ahead and hit apply. And we'll let Topaz AI do its work. Now again, this is a program you have to pay for, so I'm not really endorsing this. I've just used it for a long time, and this is how I normally do things. But we can see we're up at 100%. If we turn this off and on, you can see what AI Sharpen did. It did a pretty good job of keeping this sharp. Let's go up a little bit higher here to 200%. And we can see this is pretty sharp. We'll turn it off and on. So pretty good. So I like this, but again, this is something you have to pay for. So why are we going to, let's look at some other options that come with Photoshop. So this next option is if you like Topaz, if you like the results of Topaz, I should say, then you have an option inside the newest version of Photoshop is to get AI Sharpen. Now check this out. Look at this. This is using Topaz Sharpening. This is a partner program. That's what that little crown means. It's a partner model. and it will take a few credits. So if we click on this little star button, we can see here that how many credits you have left. I have a ton of credits left before the end of my time, which is June 25th. And you can go into features here and see that AI Sharpen is 10 to 20 credits per use. So not a lot of credits. So if you have extra credits every month, that might be something to consider. Just use the AI Sharpen. Let me show you how this works. We go into Filter, go to AI Sharpen, and hit Sharpen. Now you don't have any controls, right? You don't have different modules to choose from. You don't have any kind of slider to work with, but you do get the AI tool that is done by Topaz to actually create the sharpening in your image. So it's a kind of a workaround. I mean, you're kind of already paying for it. If you've got credits left over, you're already paying for it. Now, if it's one of those things where you decide, well, I don't want to use, I have my credits that I use for something else, that's entirely up to you. But in this case here, if you have extra credits, this might be something that you can use, and it isn't going to really cost you that much. And you're getting the Topaz look of how they actually do their sharpening. So let's get this up to 100%. And we're going to turn off this old one, the first version of Topaz AI. We'll turn that off so we can compare this to our original. That's the difference with our original. Now we'll turn this back on, and now this is against the Topaz full version. So the Topaz full version is does a little more extreme job. Of course, that's what we set it for, so it depends on what you like. But this actually looks pretty good. And let's go up to 200%. Again, off the original to Sharpen. And then compared to the AI full program. So again, probably comes down to personal preference to somewhat. So depending on what you like, that's a way that you could go. But let's say you'd like to do some sharpening and you don't want to use any credits because you got other credits that you're going to use. You're going to use them for generative AI credits maybe. And you want to use just the tools that come in Photoshop. So let's go ahead and we'll get back to a background copy here. And let's go into a new one. This is called Unsharp Mask. So an Unsharp Mask, it's a filter up here. And what's great about these filters is you have the ability to go in and tweak them after you've worked with them if you do this one thing. That's convert for smart filters. So you've got a layer that's over here, you've got it set up already, and you're going to go up to filter and go convert to smart filters. And what that does, it puts a little icon down here. And now when you run a filter, you always have access to go back and change that. So let's go into filter. You can see here, not all of them work with that. Obviously the Topaz AI denoise and sharpen, vanishing point, a couple of these other ones just don't work with it. But for what we're going to do, come down here to sharpen, and we'll go to Unsharp Mask. And up comes a little dialog box. This dialog box you can move around, and this little square gives us right into the area where we're actually working. So the amount of sharpening that you can do on this is entirely up to you. So again, if you're familiar with Photoshop, you can see that you've got the radius and you've got threshold. So let's go ahead and just bring that up to 1, and we'll bring threshold up to 4. And these are things that you can deal with and decide what it is you'd like to change. You also have the ability to plus or minus your thumbnail inside of here. This is showing you what kind of sharpening you're getting, and 100% is actually a pretty good thing. With this preview, it's on or off. You can see the preview happens over here. So this is set at 195%. You know, depending on how sharp you want things, you know, I want you to look at the image itself here. This is okay, but look at the image itself as you move this slider up, making your decisions as to how sharp you want something. So this is Unsharp Mask, and we're going to hit OK. We have it set at 131. We hit OK. And now we can see what we've done. So this is our background copy. We moved the background copy up here. So as we turn this off and on, this will be from the original. Not bad of a sharpening, really. Let's go up to 200%. Turn it off. That's our original, and that's with Unsharp Mask. In this particular case, since we made this a smart filter, we can just double click on Unsharp Mask and it brings that box back up and we can continue on. Maybe make it more extreme if we like. We can do whatever we want. We still have that control, so it's non-destructive. We can go in and really change what we're doing. So let's turn this off and on. That looks pretty decent. Now let's compare that. We'll just turn off this background layer. We'll compare it to the one that's the Topaz Credits. So the Topaz Credits appears to be just a little sharper. Let's go ahead and turn that off and on. Yeah, see what it did around the eyes? A little sharper. That's the Topaz Credit one. So this is Unsharp Mask. And then let's turn this off. We'll go back to the original Topaz. That's actually pretty extreme, probably over the top on that kind of sharpening. All right, so that's Unsharp Mask. So the next one I want to show you, we're going to turn this off. Next, this is original that we're looking at right now. What I want to show you is high pass. So let's go ahead and click on this, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to convert this to a smart filter in case we want to go back and do any work on it. And now we're going to go into filter. We're going to come into sharpen, and look, it's not there. This is not a sharpening thing. This is something else. Go down to other, and then go down to high pass. So remember, it's under filter, under other, and then high pass. Now watch what happens. It makes this completely gray toned image, right? Let's get our square over here so we can see that. Now this is a 10 pixel radius. So when you're doing this, you can see this really distinct glow around here, and I think that's pretty extreme. So let's bring this way down. All right, so that's 1.4. Let's start nudging this up. I like to get it up until that glow isn't really apparent, but it's as far as you can go without getting the glow. So there's a little bit of a glow. So let's leave it here at 3.7 and click OK. Now we've got our high pass filter set up. Now we're this is how it looks, right? But that's obviously doesn't do us any good because of all the colors are gray. But what we can do is change our blending mode. So we come over here and go to slide down, and we're going to go to linear light. And that changes it to allow you to get rid of all that gray, and you can just see the colors come through. So let's turn this off. And that's how much sharper it is. Let's go back to 100%. So that is unbelievably excess sharp, right? So you have all kinds of control here. You have a couple of ways that you can do the control. Since it's a smart filter, we can double click on high pass, come back here and move it from 3.7 to say 2.7. That might look a little bit better. You can also take the opacity and change the opacity. So you can slide that down of that sharpening layer, right? Get it, you know, if you slid it all the way down, you'd be just looking at the background layer down here. But this brings up however much sharpening we want. So depending on how we want to do this, that's going to be the sharpening. Since we're going to take the opacity down on this, we need to have that in conjunction with the background layer. So we like the sharpening of this. Maybe we'll leave it right at about 48%. We're going to hold the shift key, and now both of these are selected. Then we're going to right click and merge those layers. So that's going to be the high pass filter. And now we can compare with credits. That's the one with credits. Let's go up to 200%. That's the high pass. That's the one with credits. Man, you can hardly tell the difference. And then this is the one with the Topaz AI. So the high pass filter that comes with Photoshop, costs you no credits, is really a great way of sharpening, right? Look at that. Look at the version. I just think that looks fantastic. All right, let's try another one. So with a sharp image to begin with, that's fantastic. It works pretty well. But you got to kind of remember that we don't always shoot everything perfectly sharp. So here's an image that's not quite so sharp. Let's go into the develop module first, and we'll do just a little bit of tweaking, maybe to lift those shadows up just a little bit. All right, here's our image with our tweaks in it. Let's go ahead and zoom this up to 100%. And we can see, well, it looks okay. It's really not all that sharp. So let's go ahead and do the same thing we did before, and I'll make a bunch of new layers and relabel them. All right, so we have all our layers here. Let's go ahead and do the Topaz one that cost us credits. We'll go into filter, and do AI Sharpen. Have it do its sharpening. All right, so this is 100% with the Topaz, the one that costs you credits. And it's nicely sharp. Let's go ahead and zoom it up to 200. You can see his little teeth inside here. Let's turn that off. Yeah, a little motion blur going on, but that sharpens it up pretty swell. All right, let's come on up here and we'll do Unsharp Mask. And we can compare this to our original. So that sharpens it a little bit. It almost looks a little, I don't know, a little smeared. I'm not really loving that. Compared to the AI credit one, the Topaz credits, I think that one actually looks pretty good. Let's go in and try high pass. Convert it to a smart filter. Go into filter. Remember, it's down here under other. Go to high pass. We're just going to leave that 2.7 like we used before. Actually, let's move it up to 3. Hit OK. And remember, come up here to go to our blending mode of our layer blending mode and go to linear light. Now that's obviously way extreme. Look at the difference. Holy smokes. Let's turn these off. This is the background. But if you want to get, a beefier type of a look, then that's a way to do it. So let's go ahead and take this, make a duplicate layer. We'll just drag that up underneath our high pass filter. And we'll take our high pass filter here and let's slide the opacity down just a little bit. So we're going to merge some of the original with the sharpening of the high pass filter. So now we're going to put those together. We just highlight them, right click, go to merge layers. And now we've got our, once we like it, then we got our high pass filter that we can compare with. And this is Unsharp Mask. So it's much better than Unsharp Mask. Turn that off. And let's look at our Topaz one with credits. I don't know, it's pretty close. So with all of my images, they always go into Photoshop for final sharpening. That's how I like to do it. Everybody has their own way of doing things. I do everything, the last thing, after everything's done in Lightroom, I go into Photoshop and I do some final sharpening before I output it. And to me, that just is the best way to go. But you might have your own way. Tell me in the comments if you've got a way that you like to do your sharpening. I mean, this is how I like to do my sharpening. It's the final thing that I do, and it's always ends up being in Photoshop. So these are some new levels, new ways rather, that you can do sharpening inside of Photoshop and output your final image that way as well. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.